It started with pajamas. Go upstairs and get the boys' pajamas. Clear the table. Set the table. Empty the dishwasher. Fill the dishwasher. Go next door to grandma's and borrow this. Take a ride with dad to pick up pizza. Always me. Because I was the oldest. Always because I was the girl. And I tried to speak up about it and always got the same answers. So I stopped speaking up and started just doing it. And I learned very early and very quietly that my job in this family was to carry the load. Good morning. Day 4 of Turquoise Rising. I was the fixer. I was the big sister. I was the one who made everything okay, who made sure everyone was comfortable, who anticipated every need before it was spoken, who had what everyone needed before they knew they needed it. That was my role at home, and it followed me everywhere. In relationships, I took care of everything, the bills, the grocery shopping. I made sure the house was right and the people in it were happy. I anticipated, I prepared, I delivered. In work, I was exceptional at customer service because I could anticipate the needs of my customers, my teams, everyone around me. I was always above and beyond, everything over the top. That was just how I operated. And what I came to understand, much later than I should have, is that being the strong one and being the capable one and being the one who always figures it out quietly attracts a specific kind of person. People who need to be carried. People who will let you carry them because you have made it so easy. The calls I get are a very specific kind. Friends in crisis, friends who have lost jobs, people navigating something they do not know how to navigate, medical advice, help with a long drive. Someone needs to go somewhere and needs someone to stay besides them. Someone needs a letter written, a resume built, a doctor explained. Someone needs to move and needs hands and organization and calm. That is the call I get. Not the celebration calls, the hard ones. And here is what I want to say about that. About being the one everyone calls when things fall apart. There is a cost that almost no one talks about. Because when you're the strong one, people stop checking on you. They stop asking if you are okay. They assume you have it because you always have it. You're surrounded by people who need you and somehow are more alone than anyone else. The loneliness of the strong one is a very specific kind. It is being sick and knowing nobody's coming home to check on you. It is having a broken arm and still having to pack up the car and walk the dog. It is seeing something hilarious and having to tell your dog about it because there's nobody else there. It's having a devastating day and coming home to silence. It's having something extraordinary happen and having nobody to tell when you walk in the door. And the hardest one, someone asking how you are and you are screaming inside that you need help and you say fine and they move on to the next topic because of course you're fine. You're always fine. I always felt overwhelmed, but I never accepted it. There was always a way. You find a way. You figure it out. That was just the operating system. When overwhelmed hit, I would beat myself up for feeling it, make a new plan, try harder, go for a run. And if none of that worked, I would freeze and shut down. Those were the only two modes. grind through or shut down. Nothing in between. What I avoided by staying busy was enormous sadness, grief, the loneliness I just described, the fear, all of it. I was moving so fast that none of it could catch me. And it worked until it did not. And when I was laid off, the identity that fell was being in charge. The solution, the one who was recognized for having all the examples, that was exposed. And it was genuinely hard, but underneath the hard was something I was not expecting. Relief. The grinding, the insanity, the traveling, the being available, and the being everything to everyone. It was too much. It was not appreciated. Some of it I brought on myself, but there was such relief knowing that I was going to finally start to define my own value, that I was going to find something that fulfilled me. The change that was on the horizon, that was such a relief, because what I was doing was not working anymore, and I knew it. I had an alarm on my phone for 9 o'clock every morning. It said, write a book with this emoji. I turned it off and said, I will get to that. I was too busy being the solution for everyone else to execute my own dream. I never returned to that version of myself, the one who was too busy and had too many excuses and was grinding at surface level. What becomes possible? This, exactly this. Recording, writing, telling the story, going after the speaking, putting out TEDx applications, making myself vulnerable in a way that has always been hard for me, and finding it is the most rewarding thing I have ever done. I am living my dreams even though I am not getting paid for them yet. And no matter how this turns out, I know I will have tried. I gave it everything I had, and that to me is a dream come true. The strong one is a lonely role. I played it for 50 years, and I'm building something now where the strength is the point. But this time, it is mine to direct towards my own dream, towards my own life, on my own terms. This is day 4, 90 days, live and unfiltered. If you're in your own reinvention, come walk with Rico and I. Subscribe below and rise out loud.